Well, it's that time again. Hey everyone, Templar74 here with another video, and today's video is going to be my annual hashtag AskTemplar74 end of year Q&A for 2022. I know this video did not quite make it at the end of 2022 like I have in years past. Things get kind of crazy and life happens. That's the best way I could put it. But I did get all your questions recorded, and I'm looking forward to answering these, and I hope you're looking forward to the answers, and I look forward to interacting you in this way. As I've said before, and I'll say it again, this is one of my favorite videos to do of all time. I really do enjoy answering questions from you guys in these videos, and it gives me a chance to interact with you a little bit more. And there's a question that I actually read that might tie into that a little bit, and we'll get to it later on. But as always, grab a snack and let's get started. So anyway, we're going to start off with Jethawk, and you only left one. And you asked, as Ash's journey comes to a close, do I think Riko is Ash's daughter or could be Ash's daughter? Very simple. Thank you for the question, by the way, Jethawk. As far as that, I have seen multiple theories on it. I have seen multiple articles on it. I'm not going to go that far just yet. But after what they just did in Pokemon, finally retiring Ash, making him the world champion, doing all this stuff, nothing would surprise me that Pokemon does at this point, to be honest with you. If they do it, I think it would be a nice way to keep Ash somewhat relevant in this anime, possibly bring him back later on. But who knows whether they actually decide to go that route or not. I'm giving them applause for going this far to replace Ash, but like I said, as far as do I think it's possible, and after what they've just done, I would not count anything out, and that's pretty much my opinion on it. But I'm not willing to go so far as to throw my hat in the ring and say yes, absolutely, just yet. But anyway, Jethawk, I hope that answers your question. I hope you had an awesome 2022, and will have an awesome 2023. Next up, we have the Jasmine, and you gave your well wishes and wished me a happy new year. Same to you, the Jasmine. Hope you're all doing. I hope you're doing well, and I hope everybody else is doing well. I hope you continue to stay well, and I hope you also had a happy new year. Your three questions were: what am I hoping for from Aim to be a Pokemon Master? 2 hidden gems I would recommend from the Wii U and 3DS shops before they're shut down in March of 2023. And third, thoughts on the latest track in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game meta. Okay, so first off, what am I hoping for in Aim to be a Pokemon Master? What I'm hoping for is this is Ash's epilogue. And with that being said, I hope they go all out. I hope they do as good of a job at trying to end all the loose ends, tie them all up, get all the loose ends wrapped up in these 11 sections. That's a tall order considering we've gotten 25 years of Ash by this point, give or take. But yeah, I know that's a tall order, but that's what I'm really hoping they do. I'm just really hoping they go all out and they try to tie up as many loose ends as they possibly can in 11 episodes. Like I said, tall order, but that's what I'm hoping for. As for your second question, hidden gems I would recommend from the Wii U and 3DS shops. I really don't have a whole lot of recommendations. I really didn't play much of the Wii U or the 3DS minus the Pokemon games and Mario. But one hidden gem, well actually 2 hidden gems, I would recommend pulling off of those shops before they get shut down. I can say for one game, because it was on 3DS, one of the other games that I played, it was on the PlayStation, but it was available on the Wii U. and that was the Code Lyoko series of games. There were three. And there were two for the 3DS and one for the Wii U and the PlayStation. I played all three of them. I really enjoyed them. Quest for Infinity was the real hidden gem out of those three, but all three of them were still pretty good, in my opinion. I still play Quest for Infinity every so often, but not all the time. So anyway, that's what I would recommend from the Wii U and 3DS shop. And number 3, thoughts on the latest track in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game meta. I have seen multiple videos on it. I have talked to many of my friends that play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! With me. I really don't have an opinion one way or another just yet, and I probably won't until I go to the tournaments that will be starting up again here in the spring. Right now, my Yu-Gi-Oh! Club at the local card shop is on its Christmas break, and we usually don't get really back heavy into tournaments until February-ish. I'm looking at my calendar. February 15th is the first one, and I'll probably miss that one. But yeah, anyway, I'm really not sold one way or another. I haven't really made up my mind. I've just casually talked to some of my friends about it, and I've seen maybe 2 or 3 videos explaining why it sucks or why it's great one way or another. I'm really not sold either way just yet. I'm going to wait to reserve judgment until I actually see these new competitive metas played, and we actually get to hear more about people that have played them in their respective metas. But yeah, overall, I'm not upset about it, but I'm not issuing judgment on it one way or another. So anyway, the Jasmine, I hope those answer your questions, and have an awesome 2023. Continue to stay well, and hope you have a happy new year. All right, next up we have the Grenade Man 1, and your 3 questions were: do I think new Pokemon protagonists will get better treatment writing-wise than they gave Ash? Do I still find time to make fan fictions? And number 3, favorite video game series of all time, not counting Pokemon. Okay, so number 1, will I think the Pokemon protagonists will get better treatment as far as writing in that go than they gave Ash? I really think it's comparing apples and oranges, to be honest with you, because Ash, like I said previously, has had a 25-year run, pretty close to almost, 25 years, give or take a few. But anyway, he's had a very long run, and there have been times where they've done Ash's character complete disservice, and there have been times where they've knocked the writing for the character completely out of the ballpark. There were times where it was also a crapshoot. We would get series where he would be well written for half of it, and then the other half it'd just fall off a cliff. But yeah, as far as do I think they will get better treatment, that's going to be a tall order, but they've had a lot of time, and they know what works and they know what doesn't for Pokemon stories as far as characters and development goes. I think that they will get pretty good treatment. Will I go out on a limb and say they get better treatment than Ash? I really do think that's comparing apples and oranges, just because Ash had so long of a run. And if Pokemon starts recycling their protagonists every generation, instead of using the same protagonist for 2+ decades and then retire them, I think it's going to be a very tall order to get characters as well written as Ash ever again, to be honest with you. But anyway, that's just my own personal opinion on it. And your second question, do I still find time to make fan fictions? Yes, I do. Not in the video format, just because the new video editing software really doesn't support the old types of fan fictions that I did anymore. And ever since my first computer that I was doing videos on kind of crapped out, I lost access to my old software. And the new software, yes, you can do it, but it's more time consuming, and long story short, yes, I still do find time to do fan fictions. I am in the process of writing my newest one now. It's a sword art one, and it's on fanfiction.net. But as far as videos are concerned, I don't see me doing fan fiction videos again. Definitely anytime soon. I will never say never, but I probably won't do videos like that ever again, just because the software has just gotten too, doesn't support it, and it's not conducive to it anymore. You can still do just about anything if you give it enough time, but I just never have that kind of time anymore, unfortunately. Sad face, but I will never say never to that. And then your third question is favorite video game series of all time, not counting Pokemon. I would have to say probably either Smash Brothers or Call of Duty. I do play those two fairly regularly. And I would say that they're right up there with Pokemon for a favorite. So yeah, anyway, Grenade Man, those are my answers to your three questions. I hope you have an awesome 2023 and had a great 2022 and stay well. Okay, next up we have John B. Smooth Hot Chocolate. And you asked me Scarlet or Violet, and am I enjoying them so far? Thoughts about Ash being retired as the main protagonist, and 3 favorite Pokemon type. Okay, number 1, Scarlet or Violet, do I have either one of them, and am I enjoying them so far? So, funny story, I actually purchased Scarlet, and Jess actually purchased Violet. I actually finished Scarlet before she finished Violet because she fell victim to one of the many glitches in Scarlet and Violet. I fell victim to a few glitches as well, but I still was able to get past them eventually and continue on. As far as am I enjoying them so far, they're okay. They're really glitchy for my tastes, but they're okay. They're Pokemon games, but like I said, they're more glitchy than what I would care to have in a Pokemon game. So am I enjoying them so far? And then your second question, thoughts about Ash being retired, and I said this when I first recorded it, when the news first dropped. I'm still in shock that Pokemon has actually done it. I think they should have done it a while back ago, to be honest with you. But I'm not complaining. After they made him the world champion, I was kind of convinced then that that was probably what was going to happen, because they were really damned if they did, damned if they didn't. But yeah, I will applaud them for taking the huge leap. I think it was the best time to do it as far as him being world champion. Were there times where it could have probably been better if he had done it? Yes. But after reflecting on it, I'm still in shock that they've actually done it, but I'm not complaining with how they did it either. It's still pretty dang cool that they're doing it, and I'm still in shock and still processing it even to this day. And then your third question is my favorite Pokemon type. Believe it or not, I would actually have to say Fairy, just because Fairy was the thing that finally came in and made dragons beatable and made dragons competitive, because before Fairy came along, dragons were really seen as the ultimate Pokemon that were impossible to kill or destroy. And yeah, I think Fairies did the service a favor for that. Not to mention Sylveon is one of my favorite evolutions. But yeah, anyway, those are my answers to your 3 questions, John B., aka Smooth Hot Chocolate. I hope you had an awesome 22, will have an awesome 2023, and continue to stay. All right, next we have Wild Wolf, and I do want to take a second to apologize, Wild Wolf. When I was writing these questions down to record the video, I kind of glanced over you, or you got missed, and I realized it after I wrote down John B., so that's why you're under him. Just wanted to throw that out there. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. That was a legitimate mistake on my part. But anyway, Wild Wolf, I digress. On to your questions. So you asked me, if Ash's epilogue ends with Ash and Serena together, would it have been worth the 27-year wait? Am I excited about the new Super Mario movie? And 3, how do I feel about glitches in Scarlet and Violet? So first off, if Ash's epilogue ends with Ash and Serena together, would it have been worth the 27-year wait? I think that if they are going to retire Ash, which now they are going to retire Ash, so I really can't even say that now because, like I said, I'm still in shock that they're even doing this, to be honest with you. They're retiring Ash. Do I think that that is one of the plot holes that deserves to be filled in this epilogue? Absolutely. It's one of the ones that I'm hoping gets filled in the most, to be honest with you. Like, if I were to have a list of the major plot holes that I want wrapped up in this epilogue, that is the top of the list, is Ash and Serena. But like I said, when I was asked about, is Rico Ash, could it be Ash's daughter, Ash and Serena's daughter? Like I said, it wouldn't surprise me. At this point, nothing that Pokemon did would possibly surprise me at this point. Is it very likely? I don't know. But would it be worth the wait? Answering back to your question, circling back to it, would it be worth the wait? In my opinion, yes. Ash is at the top of his game. Let the kid be happy. You're finally retiring him. Don't be afraid to take the risk. Just go ahead and do it. Let us have that answer resolved between these two on what actually ends up becoming of them. Don't just leave it to the fan fiction writers to do. But I digress on that. So anyway, those are my thoughts on that question. Am I excited for the Super Mario movie? Moving on to your new question, or your second question. I was excited for it up until I saw the trailer for it. When we got that, the hype train kind of died, in my opinion. Will I probably still watch it? Yeah. Am I as excited for it when it was first announced as opposed to now? No. Yeah, just that one trailer and the news that we've gotten about it lately just kind of killed the vibe, in my opinion. And then your third question is, how do I feel about the glitches in Scarlet and Violet? Okay, so I answered this a little bit ago. The glitches I do not care for. They kind of take away from the game and make it less appealing, in my opinion. Jess actually fell victim to falling off the edge of a cliff in the game, and she couldn't get back out because she didn't have flight, she didn't have surf, so she was stuck at the bottom of this ravine and no way to get out. And she ended up having to start over, making a new Nintendo account to get back in to actually play it more. Like I said, glitches like that make the game almost unbearable, to be honest with you. I was fortunate that I didn't fall victim to that glitch, but when she told me about it, I was like, wait, you did what? But yeah, the game does have its glitches. I'm hoping they're fixed and patched along the way, but they do kind of make some aspects of the game unplayable at the moment. And even if you can play it, it really takes away from the fun, in my opinion. So yeah, not a real fan about the glitches in Scarlet and Violet, which there are a many at this point. So anyway, Wild Wolf, those are your questions, and I hope I answered them to the best of my ability. I hope you had an amazing 2022 and will have an amazing 2023. All right, next up, we have Aruto Sanchez Rajas. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, and I know I sound overly apologetic whenever I say that, but I really am trying my best here, and I don't mean any disrespect or any bad vibes that way. So anyway, back to your questions. You gave me 3. Have I seen Spy x Family and my thoughts on it? 2, what Pokemon anime moment any generation got you laughing the hardest? And 3, did I see SAO Progressive movie? So first off, have I seen Spy x Family? Yes, I have. It was arguably my favorite anime of 2022. It was just really interesting to see this light novel brought to life. I really didn't read the light novel. I only started reading it after I watched the anime, which kind of does it a disservice in my opinion. But yeah, I really am digging the anime, and I'm super excited that it's finally getting a second season, not just a second part of season 1. Yeah, looking forward to that hype train. It was a pretty cool anime, and probably my favorite anime of 2022. Next up, what Pokemon anime moment any generation got you laughing the hardest? So that would probably have to be when Brock returns after his departure in the Orange Islands, and he's asked basically what happened, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to talk about it." That was probably the part that got me laughing the hardest, was when he just came back out of nowhere, and they're wanting to know, wait, what happened? Why are you back? And he's just like, "I don't want to talk about it." That probably had me laughing out of my chair the hardest, to be honest. And then your third question, did I see SAO Progressive? I saw the first one. It's animated beautifully. It's in the Alicization anime style, which I can really dig. SAO has really gone above and beyond its animation quality as of late. And yeah, it was a pretty awesome movie, to be honest with you. It was a pretty good adaptation of the book. It's nice to see SAO from a different perspective, and we're getting some holes filled in the anime side of things. Do I think that it should be in movies as opposed to its own anime? I won't go that far, but I will say that the movies were pretty excellent, and the animation quality was great. The music was great, and I really did enjoy the story of it. It follows the light novel very closely. So yes, I did see SAO Progressive and really enjoyed it. So anyway, Aruto Sanchez, I hope that answered your questions. Hope you had an amazing 2022, and will have an amazing 2023. Okay, next up we have Leorio the Sakio Aniki. And like I said to Aruto, I apologize if I completely butchered that. I'm trying my best here. And anyway, your three questions were, why don't I respond to comments minus the Q&A videos? Your second question is, planning on changing the intro and outro soon. And 3, final verdict on Go in the anime rated. Okay, so first off, why don't I respond to the comments? So, as I said before, and I say it in all my outros, I do legitimately enjoy hearing from you guys. I do read the comments. It may not always seem like it. And there are just times where, and I know I'm bad about this, and I'm not trying to make excuses here, but there are literally days where I will open up my YouTube channel and I will have gotten over 100 comments in this course of one day. And try as I might, I am a one-person operation here. I do all of the videos myself. I do all of the editing myself. I do everything myself. I do read the comments whenever I get the chance to. I do read through them, but there are just sometimes where working 2 full-time jobs, doing YouTube, and having a family, there are just times where myself and I cannot physically respond to every single comment. And I also don't want to stigmatize or feel like I'm singling people out, because if I always respond to 1 or 2 commenters and I don't respond to everybody, I feel that that's unfair. So I do read the comments and I do take the feedback, but as far as do I have time to respond to every single comment? No. And if I can't respond to them all, I feel like it's not fair to respond to just some and not all, if that makes any sense. I try to be fair, and I just feel like I couldn't be fair or impartial in that respect, and that's probably why, I would say. And I know sometimes it comes across as, well, why do I even bother commenting to this guy because he never responds back? Just know I do read the comments. It's just sometimes it's not always feasible to get answers out to everybody. So yeah, I hope that answers the question. Like I said, I'm not trying to make excuses, but that's the legitimate answer to your question. Number 2, am I planning on changing the intro and outro soon? They are starting to feel stale. So thank you for the feedback. I always like positive criticism. Do I plan on changing them? Yes, I do. Especially now that Pokemon has retired Ash and Pikachu, I feel like I have to. Like I said, though, it kind of circles back into my first question. I'm a one-guy operation, working 2 full-time jobs and having a family. Sometimes I'm a little bit slow to get things out. I have been working on a new intro and new outro. They are coming. I can't say exactly when they're coming, but they are coming. I do have them in the computer, and I work on them whenever I get a free moment to do so. Yeah. So anyway, yes, they are going to be replaced in 2023. I will say that much. Whether it be a week from now or a month from now, I can't say, but it is coming. So stay tuned for that. And again, thank you for the positive criticism. I do enjoy that. Okay, and number 3, my final verdict on Go is a character rated. How would I rank him at 1 out of 10? I'd give him a 5. He was an okay character. I feel like his writing was really not done justice, and his goal of Project Mu really left a lot to be desired. It was not my favorite concept ever, to be honest with you. There were times where Go's character was done phenomenal, and then there were times where it was done really like... But yeah, as far as that goes, I would give Go a 5 out of 10. I would struggle to give him anything higher, but I definitely wouldn't give him anything lower. He was an okay character, in my opinion. So, yeah, anyway, and I apologize again if I'm going to butcher this name. Leorio, I hope that answered your questions. Again, thank you for the positive criticism. It always helps. And I hope you had an amazing 2022 and an awesome 2023. Okay, moving on to Minor Mole. You asked me, how do I manage doing YouTube and your real job and your real life, because you still struggle to do that? Thoughts on Scarlet and Violet, and 3 hopes for new Pokemon other than don't screw it up. So, yeah, how do I manage doing YouTube and my real job? So, like I said, I work 2 real jobs, and I have a family now. I have a kid. It's not easy. There are some days where I stress about it. There are some days that are easier than others. How I do it is you just got to learn how to juggle priorities. And this also goes back to what kind of content you do on YouTube. I'm of the mindset that if I don't get to the major news right away, it's okay, because that news will still be there, and no one perspective is going to change or bombshell something, in my opinion. I feel like in this order, family should come first, supporting your family should come second, and then third should be everything else. Now, I do get a little bit from Patreon, and I do want to give shout out to my patrons here. They are awesome. They do help make it feel like I'm not doing it for nothing, but I would probably still do it even without the Patreons, to be honest with you, because it really is a hobby of mine. But that's just it. It's a hobby, and you got to know how to balance things. I just tend to always think family first, everything else second, and then you just got to learn to prioritize. That's just how I see it. And, you can apologize for not getting things out in a timely manner. People are more understanding than what you give them credit for. And sometimes in society, it may seem hard to believe, but people are understanding. You tell them, hey, family comes first. 9 out of 10 people, they get it, and they'll sympathize with you. But it's not worth digging yourself into a hole over it either. So, yeah, you just got to learn how to prioritize is my biggest advice to that. And, yeah. So, anyway, my thoughts on Scarlet and Violet, on to your second question, Minor Mole. Like I said, they're a little bit glitchy for my taste, but they're okay. I'm not going to repeat everything multiple times just for sake of video length, but they're glitchy for my taste, but they're okay. They're Pokemon games. There are some things in it I really like, but the glitches cannot be overlooked, in my opinion. And my hopes for the new Pokemon anime, other than don't screw it up, it's just, my hopes are, I guess I can't just say don't screw it up, because that was a condition of your question. My thought is, don't stop telling stories. Don't take it as we're retiring Ash, we got to go backwards. Take it as a step forward. Let Rico and Roy move the franchise forward. Don't take them back and do a complete reset, because I think you're doing your fan base a disservice. Just continue on. You know, don't be afraid to tie in the old and the new. Don't be afraid to say, okay, everything that just happened the past 27 years, forget about it. We're starting fresh. That's okay to a point, but don't make that as your number one priority, Pokemon. And then, yeah, other than that, I really can't say a whole lot other than don't screw it up. And I know that was a requisition, but I really don't have a whole lot more to say. Don't be afraid to tell a good story, and don't feel like you have to completely reset everything. We're all going to be in this new journey together. So yeah, move forward, don't go back. That's all I can say to that. So anyway, Minor Mole, I hope those answer your questions. Hope you have an awesome 2023 and had an amazing 2022. Well. All right, now we have, last but not least, Jessica Friedman. And you asked me, do I think Team Rocket will leave the anime with Ash? Do I think Rinko is Ash and Serena's daughter? And 3, would you like to see Pokemon have an LGBTQ character one day? Okay, so do I think Team Rocket will leave the anime with Ash? I think Jessie and James and Meowth will. Do I think Team Rocket as a whole will disappear? Probably not. We'll probably still hear echoes of them round and about, like in lore or whatever. I think that they will probably tie in a lot of the previous Pokemon anime with the new. But as far as seeing these 3 characters repeatedly and as main characters, yes, I do think so. I think we're going to be moving on into a new generation here. That's just my own personal thought on it. Do I think Rinko is Ash and Serena's daughter? On to your second question, and I've answered this before, but I'll say it again here. Is it possible? Yes. Would it surprise me? Nothing they would do would surprise me at this point. Am I 100% confident in saying that? No. And then your third question is, would you like to see Pokemon have an LGBTQ character one day? So, okay, and I want to clear the air right now because this answer is complicated, and I'm not going to say it goes over the line. I will answer it, but I do want to put a disclaimer out there. I do not consider myself a racist. I do not consider myself anti-LGBTQ. I have friends that are gay. I have friends that are black. I have friends that are Hispanic. I have all kinds of friends. I have friends of all different religions. So as far as that's concerned, I don't look down on anybody. As far as having a main character in LGBTQ, I can't say that I would like it, to be honest with you. Like I said, I have friends that are gay. I have friends that are lesbians. But that being said, do I want to see this in a Pokemon anime? You gotta make sure that when you're looking at it, you gotta look at it through the culture that it's originally presented to and its audience. Japan is a very, how should I put this? In some areas they're progressive, but in some areas they are very conservative. And we also must not lose sight that although most of the Pokemon anime viewership is young adult, it's still targeted towards kids. So are we going to see it? It's very unlikely. Would I personally like to see it? No, and that's just because that's not what the Pokemon anime is about. Am I against it in the real world? Am I against that kind of people? No. Do I want to see it in the anime? No. So, yeah. Anyway, that's about all I will say to that. Is would I like to see it? Probably not, because I think it would detract from what makes Pokemon, in my opinion. So anyway, Jessica, I hope that answered your questions, and I hope you had an amazing 2022. We'll have an amazing 2023. All right, everybody, that is everybody's questions to the annual hashtag AskTemplar74 end of year Q&A. Like I said in the intro, this is one of my favorite videos to do every year. I apologize that it's a little bit late, and now we're into 2023 when this video finally airs. But better late than never. Again, it goes back to prioritizing. And so, yeah. Everybody, you had great questions. I enjoyed answering them. I hope I connected to you all just a little bit more. And yeah, as always, everybody, we're going to sign off here. And as always, everybody, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day, everybody. Hope you have an amazing 2023. And we'll talk to you all again in the next hashtag Ask Templar mid-year Q&A for 2023 coming this summer. Goodbye, everybody.